Okay, so if you're getting ready to file your taxes, listen up because the IRS has a pretty urgent message for you. Millions of us are on track to make a critical mistake this year. And you know what? It has nothing to do with math. This is not just another tax season, and we're about to break down exactly why. So, let me just ask you, are you planning on filing your tax return soon? Because if you are, what we're about to cover could honestly be the difference between a smooth, easy process and a season full of headaches and delays. The IRS kicked off its Get Ready campaign for a reason, and it's so important that you hear this before you hit submit. So, what is this big mistake everyone's going to make? Well, it's deceptively simple. It's assuming that anything about this year is business as usual. Experts are warning taxpayers that this year is shaping up to be one of the most challenging in decades. And that assumption of normalcy, that's the exact trap the IRS is trying to warn you about right now. Yeah, what we're really looking at here is a perfect storm for taxes. It's this combination of huge factors all hitting at once, making this year uniquely challenging, not just for the IRS, but directly for you, the taxpayer. So let's break down the three biggest issues that are creating this storm. Okay, so when you deconstruct the problems at the IRS, it really boils down to three major things creating this unprecedented strain. And the first one, it's the backlog. You got to remember, we had that historic 43-day government shutdown late in 2025. I mean, that was the longest in U.S. history. So when IRS staff finally got back to work, they walked into literal mountains of unopened mail and thousands of unanswered calls. They are still digging out from that backlog, and now millions of new tax returns are about to land right on top of it. Second, the agency is just severely understaffed. We're talking about a workforce that's down by a quarter, a full 25%. And to make matters worse, there's a serious leadership vacuum. The agency had seven different acting commissioners in 2025 alone. Fewer people and unstable leadership is not exactly a recipe for efficiency, especially during tax season. And the third major factor, the thing that's really throwing a wrench in the works, a sweeping and incredibly complex new tax law. The One Big Beautiful Bill, which was signed into law in mid-2025, introduced all these significant new deductions and rules. We're talking expanded SALT deductions, new tax deductions for tip and overtime income, and even a brand new deduction for seniors. And more rules just means more complexity and a lot more potential for errors and reviews. Okay, so that's what's happening at the IRS. But the real question is, how does all of that affect you? Because believe me, it does. These big institutional problems, they have very direct, very personal consequences when it comes time for you to file. This really shows you the gap between what we all expect and, well, this year's reality. In a normal year, right, you expect a pretty predictable timeline for your refund. You expect someone to answer the phone if you need help. This year, lawmakers, even the IRS itself, are warning of major refund delays, incredibly long waits for phone support, and, this is critical, a massive slowdown for anyone who files by paper. So let's get specific about the potential fallout here. You're looking at significant refund delays, especially if your return gets flagged for any kind of manual review. Paper filers, you will be at the back of the line. Getting help on the phone or in person is going to be extremely difficult. And this one is really tricky. You might get these automated notices asking for info you've already sent simply because no one at the IRS has even gotten to your response yet. Okay, so that's the problem. It definitely sounds daunting, I know, but it's not hopeless. The IRS has actually put out an official playbook to help you navigate all this. The key thing here is you have to be proactive. So let's walk through the strategy. And hey, don't just take my word for it. This comes straight from the source. The IRS says, quote, "Tax planning is for everyone. Planning ahead can help you file an accurate return and avoid delays that can slow your tax refund." The message here is just crystal clear. Preparation is your absolute best defense against all this chaos. All right, so here it is, the 4 key steps in the playbook. Ready? Number 1, file as early as you possibly can. Just get ahead of that inevitable pileup. Number 2, file electronically. Seriously, I can't stress this enough. The paper system is going to be the absolute slowest part of the IRS. Number 3, use direct deposit. It is by far the fastest and most secure way to get your money. And number 4, get organized now. Have every single document you need ready before you even begin to file. Following that playbook is going to put you in the best possible spot this year, no question. But it does leave us with this bigger question. With tax laws getting more and more complex and the IRS having fewer and fewer resources to deal with it all, are we looking at the new normal for tax season? It's a crucial question to think about because the challenges this year might just be a preview of what's to come.